Here is the rectified and accentuated adaptation of the section. Hello folks, it's Beam J back with another video, and in this one, I need to discuss what's the deal with Tesla stock and give you all a vital admonition about tomorrow since we have significantly more insane information emerging. In this way, I need to separate what's going on with Tesla, what's the deal with SPY, Nvda, the QQQQ, and several different tickers, and some huge news that emerged from Tesla in regards to additional surveys from examiners. Before I start digging into the most data, before I dive into additional subtleties, let me simply notice 2 or 3 things. I first and foremost am not a monetary organizer, so take nothing I say as monetary guidance. But likewise, assuming you folks can, kindly look at the Webull Connect, which is down underneath and in the depiction. On the off chance that you pursue Webull and store $500, you're insured 20 free stocks. Store $25,000 or more, and you're insured 75 of them, a proposition coming exceptionally soon in only a long time. In any case, presently we should separate what's going on with the business sectors. Taking a gander at Tesla, we got this extremely huge auction that came somewhere in this vicinity. Tesla was at nearly $178 yesterday, and presently we're right now at about $170. The justification for why Tesla auctions off like this has to do with various variables. One of them was CPI. CPI arrived shortly surprisingly hard. We did not intend to see this all through the whole business sectors. Therefore, SPY is fundamentally lower right presently contrasted with where yesterday was like and such. On top of all of that, just likewise had this news that came out that examiners at Jeff and Fluke player Sanders are seeing a 2024 deals drop. Furthermore, this is some enormous information. The investigators for Fluke player Sandler are essentially emerging and saying that they're keeping up with their overweight rating since Tesla ought to in any case outflank the market over the long haul, yet they sliced their value focus to $205 an offer rather than $225 an offer, which is what their past objective was. They're likewise now expecting around 1,799 million conveyances in 2024. That is a downfall of 0.5% year over year. They likewise anticipate that their income should fall by 3.3% year here in view of cost cuts and such. Thus, you're anticipating that this should be an incredibly not very great year for Tesla. And furthermore, we have Jeff Investigator emerging. They're cutting the entire year conveyances gauge by 13.3% to 1.77 million units, addressing a 3% decay year over year, and their income estimate has been brought down by 15%. Not the best of information. Thus, this is the news that came out that added to why Tesla auctions off a piece, as the experts have incredibly various perspectives. Furthermore, this is exactly the very thing we will anticipate from Tesla as we approach profit in light of the fact that a ton of opinion about Tesla isn't exceptionally certain after what we saw from conveyances. In this way, that is essential for why Tesla is down how it is. Another thing I need to get down on that is influencing Tesla is the thing the Federal Reserve is anticipating. Thus, we had the FWC minutes emerged, however that information was somewhat deferred. The Federal Reserve was extremely questionable. Some are saying that they might need to cut early, others are saying they might not need to, and it was a lot of only out of control. It didn't actually influence the market so a lot. In any case, what is influencing the market is the ongoing information since when the FOMC minutes came out only a couple of hours prior. This is somewhat deferred information. This information came out before. This is based off the FOMC meeting, which was quite a long time back. Along these lines, that is unique in relation to how the situation is playing out the present moment. How the situation is playing out right presently is the Federal Reserve being a smidgen more hawkish. In this way, at the present time, for the May meeting, there's a 96% opportunity that the Federal Reserve will keep rates something very similar. And for June, there's currently a 83% opportunity the Federal Reserve will keep rates the equivalent in the future. Thus, the chances of the Fed giving us a cut have been dropping, essentially for the present moment. Also, this is extremely significant news. On the off chance that rates go up higher for longer, this could morely affect the economy. Not the best of information for stocks like Tesla, which are very financing cost touchy assuming any such thing. Presently, we should discuss a few additional information for later. What am I agonizing over? Tomorrow will be Thursday, April 11th, 2024. For what reason is this significant? Since we have PPI information coming out an hour prior to the market opens. This is incredibly significant. What is PPI? Very much like CPI, besides as opposed to being from the purchaser side, it will be from the maker side. Furthermore, this will in general be a proactive factor for CPI. Once more, remember about that CPI was somewhat more blazing than anticipated, and we had estimates that were somewhat hot. For PPI, we're seeing something practically the same. The figures are anticipating that PPI should go up as well as energy is expanding during this time. Energy costs are going up, so the expenses of products are going up too. Expansion is giving indications of expanding, and that is the very thing that we're anticipating from PPI and CPI, and that is the thing we got from CPI. Will PPI pursue the direction? That I can't guarantee. I don't have the foggiest idea how much higher it will be. Expanding near expectations is probable going. Thus, I couldn't say whether it will be well above assumptions, a smidgen underneath them, assuming that it's as yet any such thing. Thus, I'm not 100% sure about what PPI will resemble and what it could mean foe. Are the business sectors. That is the reason I need to give you folks an admonition about this. In the event that PPI is lined up with the assumptions, Tesla can in any case bounce back towards $175. On the off chance that PPI is surprisingly hard, I'll discuss the particular numbers in the later video for now. Then, Tesla will get a carpet pull right down to $165. My admonition is loads of information comes out an hour prior to the market opens tomorrow. Thus, on the off chance that you're holding calls for the time being, assuming you're holding puts for the time being, there is a gamble in doing so in light of the fact that no one can really tell what could occur with this information emerging. Assuming you're holding calls, imagine a scenario where the market gets gapped down again in light of the fact that PPI is hot. In the event that you're holding puts, imagine a scenario in which the market winds up siphoning and gapping up on the grounds that we wind up getting a few nice information. That is the reason it's sort of dangerous. I need to let you all have some familiarity with the dangers. Along these lines, if it's not too much trouble, be cautious and be extremely careful. However, all the while, you could likewise get the heading right and bring in insane cash. Along these lines, assuming you're holding calls for the time being, perhaps it will end up working. Assuming you're holding puts, it could work out as well. It's everything on you. My occupation is simply to give you folks a decent comprehension of what the gamble is. Okay, in this way, I don't have the foggiest idea what L will do expedite. It relies upon the data. We'll need to keep a watch out. Thus, assuming that you're holding anything short-term, it's your decision. If you would rather not hold for the time being, you could leave your position now as a sanity check since we just have around 30 minutes left of market open. Thus, so that is your decision, folks. For Nvda, in the event that we get a fair PPI, this will be exceptionally significant for Nvda. Going to be searching for a push to the 200 EMA as far as possible up towards the $880 region. In the event that we get a matte draw, we could be sinking right down to $845. Thus, we'll need to check whether we get a major matte force or not. Nvda dropped quite hard and afterward returned up today after some bullish news came out that would sort of disrupted everything. Thus, this aided Nvda. Regardless, we will check whether this thing gets a floor covering pull or not. I'm liberal to anything, so ensure you keep that in your subconscious. For SPY, would we say we are going to see SPY bob and push as far as possible back to $518 besides, or is SPY going to get a floor covering pull, begin sinking to $510 if not $508? It's in the center, it's in the center, it's in the on target. Could it be said that we will drop 4 to 6 places? Might it be said that we are going to run 4 to 6 focuses to the potential gain? I don't have the foggiest idea, folks. It truly relies upon various variables. On the off chance that you're holding anything at the present time, you could hold for the time being, rake in boatloads of cash, or you might lose cash contingent upon your situation, or then again to gamble with it you could simply leave your position presently before it's past the point of no return. Also, this goes for most situations out there. Assuming your holding prospects are doing any such thing, that is unique. However, for this situation, for choices, which is what most of retail players are doing, that is where the dangers end up being. In this way, we will check whether SPY gets a bob or not, or on the other hand, in the event that it keeps on sinking. I'm receptive to anything. We'll need to sit back and watch. For the QQQQ, would we say we are going to see this thing push up to $442, or is it going to get a floor covering pull right down to $432? We'll need to sit back and watch. Once more, as of this moment, the diagram's sort of uneven. It's extremely uncertain right now as we approach PPI. We will witness what the large moves to be. For Aapl, we got this decent push to $171. Then we got a floor covering pull right down to $167, a 4-point drop. Presently, we're simply exchanging sideways. Will Aapl push back up to the $100.70s, or would we say we are going to begin sinking to a new low into the $165 region? The graph is as yet negative, so we'll need to keep a watch out. Be that as it may, similar to I said previously, folks, remember this admonition about the business sectors, and we will find out how things turn out. So I need to end the video from here. Much thanks to you all such a huge amount for tuning in. Simply know that for Tesla, we will be vigorously directed by certain information that is emerging for the following 2 or 3 days. Then we have profit coming out very soon also. Thus we have a great deal of enormous stuff emerging for the weeks. In this way, be ready, be hopeful, and do what you need to do. I thank you all such a great amount for tuning in. I truly want to believe that you folks have a totally extraordinary rest of the day, and I'll see you all exceptionally soon in only 2 or 3 hours. Much obliged to you for tuning in. Tell us to the moon because the long haul is exceptionally brilliant and harmony out.